A lot of you out there thought this man was washed. Said, nah, he's socks and sandals washed. James Harden, he's fat, he's out of shape, can't play. His time, the window is shut. A lot of you forgot about that stuff, didn't you? About how good this individual is. Now, earlier today on Friday, we talked about Anthony Davis being healthy in full effect. I'm just saying, you owe James Harden an apology. This team will be representing the Eastern Conference. Make no mistake, the Philadelphia, they may not win the championship, as it's been the theme in Philadelphia to lose in the final round, series game, what have you. But the Sixers are making the NBA Finals. You can book that right now. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're still here. Just admit, just give me a little something on Harden. Leans and locks, folks. We do this on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday slate. You got Lindy during the week. You got me during the weekend. I don't know. I think they asked about 7 other people. They all said no. They asked me, sure, I'll do it. I'll do it. Because if I say no, then I won't be here. The other people can say, like Laffy can say no, he's fully entrenched. I say no, I may not be here next week. Let's start. We have a couple of games to look at. We start with an early one here. The Knicks, the Nuggets. It's in New York. Now, I love the fact that we can take advantage of one thing, which is travel and an early start for this Nuggets squad. That's where I really want to attack here for a Denver team that just comes off the road trip in Detroit. Prior to that, they open up this mini trip here, this 5-game trip in Toronto. Moving around, there's travel, and now there's an early start on a Saturday. You play Tuesday night, you play Thursday night. You ain't playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday in Toronto. The Knicks, there's no time change. There's nothing new or different here. It's just an earlier start, but you're at home. Well, they went out last night, Saturday night, Friday night. They go out every night. I hate to break it to you. The Nuggets right now desperately needed that win against Detroit. But is that enough for you to say, well, maybe stuff has changed with the Denver Nuggets? I still think the Knicks right now present a problem, and I'm fine with locking up the Knicks in the first half on the spread. That's the key here. Give me the Knicks first half spread. I don't want anything else. I don't want the game. I don't want Jokic coming back, 15 assists in the third, fourth quarter, what have you. I want a Knicks team right now that I know at home is capable, competent, and a team that hasn't shit the bed over the last 10 and has won a couple in a row. You need to be up for the task, and I think the Knicks are. I truly do think the Knicks are. So we open up here with the Knicks first half spread. Lock it up. Denver, let them deal with the second half in the second half. We want the first half action for the New York Knicks. We have one more lock in the show. We'll get to that in a little bit. But let me tell you what's happening at Bet365. This is it. I cannot believe that we're allowed to do this. You have to be 21 or older, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and you have to live in a state where you can legally place a wager. But Ohio, New Jersey, Virginia, Colorado, a lot of you listening are in those 4 states. You probably don't even know that you have BetMGM. It's insane. It's silly that you wouldn't take advantage of this offer. We're giving you $365 back. You need to take 60 seconds out of your life, sign up on a link below, deposit $10, then bet $1 on anything. It doesn't matter what that dollar is bet on, anything. $365 right back into your account. This is easy stuff. You're in a state that has Bet365. You're going to get $365 back into your account. If you're not taking advantage of this and you're able to, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. What do you want from me? Do you want me to sugarcoat it? I love that you're here. I love that. But we're family. I can talk to you like we're family. Let's hit this Clippers game. I'm throwing stuff. I don't know what's going on here. You see this? I'm in disarray after that, thinking just out loud about how you wouldn't take advantage of this. Let's look at the second game. Orlando's in the house. Clippers. It's grown, this spread, but I think there's a player prop available here. The Orlando Magic are live to cover a 7.5 to 8 point spread. I don't have an issue there. In fact, if the spread does hit 8.5, I would take a play on Orlando. That's not my favorite play in this game, but it's my second favorite play in the game. You can get Orlando +8 right now. I would do it. Why? Because, well, the Clippers are on their way up and they're trending in the right direction and all this other stuff about now possibly leading towards a threat in the Western Conference. Well, I agree. In this game in particular, you would think from a tempo standpoint to a talent standpoint, they'd have the Magic in the bag. But we see Orlando north of 7.5 in cover zone. I'm not worried about that. My favorite play is Russell Westbrook double-double. Leaning towards a double-double for Russell Westbrook. If it's, and I imagine it will be plus money, he's hovering. It's there. You're going to see an opportunity for Russell Westbrook to always find a knack for rebounding the basketball. That is never in question for Westbrook. He has the athletic ability. He has the nose for the ball as a guard. Like, that's just the height, all of that. He has the athletic and mental prowess to rebound the basketball, which you need both. Ask Dennis Rodman, by all means. The other part of this is trying to figure out if you can look at anything other like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, guys taking away buckets. That's where Westbrook's assists start to pile up front as well. I think Westbrook is the play here for a double-double on the lean. Let's look at this next game in Toronto. Now, we start to get into a regular time slot here. We had the two early games. Get those out of the way. Minnesota's in town. Pretty big one. On Friday night, when you look at what happened with the Minnesota Timberwolves, in the sense in which it goes to double overtime. Now you're on the second leg of a back-to-back after you just saw 131 points on your side, but you ran up and down and then some. That is a major ask right now for a team to turn right back around and play in Toronto. Where, and I know we got burned on this on the odd shot, but I think that was more the outlier. Defense prevails here. The Raptors are going to be able to dictate the tempo of this game. The Raptors are going to be in control early in the first quarter, first half of this game. It's hard to come off a double overtime game, win or loss, even more deflating. You just came off a double overtime loss. And you're going to flip right back around and come out and smash a team? I don't care who that team is. And it's Toronto, who's not an easy pushover either. Especially when you look at home. Where for a team that low in the standings, they've been really good at home. Consistently good at home. So you like Toronto on the spread, that's fine. But I think the better play here is Toronto wins, controls the game. But even if they lose, they're not getting blown out. This isn't a shootout. The legs just aren't there for Minnesota tonight. They're just not there. So the lean, in fact, is the under with this total in Toronto, especially because of what happened with Minnesota. All right, next play. This is going to be a 2-for-1. This is going to be a money line total play. Same game parlay, but it's usually put together for you in your book where you can do the combination. Sixers, Pacers. Just talked about James Harden. Just talked about the Sixers. I mean, this team is legit. They are on fire right now. There is no team hotter in the NBA. They are laying 6. They're laying 6. They are not going to lose this game. Well, they're going to get tripped up at some point. Here's the difference. And I harp on this a lot during the week on the 5 and 5. We talk about this even when Joel Embiid comes up in the NBA parlay video, which we hit 2 this week. But there is so much personal motivation with Joel Embiid that, as we just saw in Charlotte, there isn't really room for letdown when he's on the floor. If you're going to beat the Sixers, you're going to just take full advantage of the fact when Embiid is off the floor that you can do whatever you want. And that gap, that buffer you create is just enough to where Embiid can't come back on both ends of the floor. Indiana doesn't have that ability. They don't have the defensive capability. They don't have the height. They don't have the size, the strength. They don't have any of that. So what I'd like to do is combine and play a money line total same game parlay here. Take the Sixers and go under 234 for plus money. Not over. There's going to be a dash to the door to play the over in this game. Well, the Sixers just smash Charlotte. The Pacers do score. Like I said, Indiana will struggle in this game, mightily struggle in this game to get buckets. 234, 234 and a half, wherever you see it, it's an underplay for me. But I want to combine that with the Sixers winning. -6, forget the spread, to stay away from the spread. You don't know, let down for the Sixers against the Pacers. That form, that fashion looks like the Sixers needing to come back like they did against the Blazers. 2-point win, 3-point win, 5-point win. Why mess around? It's just easier to take the Sixers to win, but as a 6-point favorite, you'd rather combine that with the total. And I'm telling you that the under just makes more sense. You can pretty much copy and paste what you got in Charlotte, which was 202 points. So, yeah, I think you're going to get that again with Indiana. 90 points from the Pacers. I'll give you that. 95 from the Pacers. They suck. It's not a fun product to watch, and you need to recognize that. If you're in Indiana, it's over. It's just over. Let's move to the Kings game here. And I say the Kings game because they're the side, but technically, since they're on the road, it's the Wizards. Now, the Washington Wizards, if you want to start with the home team right now, this is not great. They just come off this loss, and it was just never close. Well, I take it back. It was close at one point, and then Cleveland just pulled away. But the Cavs were bouncing back. Like, the Cavs were in good mode right now, especially down Jared Allen previously. He kind of felt like this was a good opportunity for the Cavs to smash that 6-point line. Absolutely. The flip side of it is, what are you going to get from Washington now, who just gets pounded into the ground and now has to bounce back to host a Sacramento team? So you want to look at Sacramento. This, like Denver, is a team that is fueled by their big man. Domantas Sabonis is everywhere. I saw a nice little meme on Twitter. Sabonis is Jokic with defense. Now, that's, of course, not true. Don't tell Adam Scher that I said that, or anybody else that's a Jokic truther going to conniptions. And so that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's what I saw on Twitter. I thought that was pretty funny. But I like the Kings to jump in here and win the first half. And I'm going to lean Sacramento first half here, primarily because Washington gets their ass handed to them. And playing at home, returning home to host a team doesn't kickstart what you're doing when you're in this level of the standings. Washington really has to figure this thing out if they're going to go any type of attempt, if you will, to make the play-in game. I don't like it. I don't like them at home. I like the Kings first half. If Washington comes back, they go on a run, say what you will. The better play, in my opinion, is to lean Sacramento first half. Still have another lock to get to before we get out of here. Bulls at home. I don't know what you make of this game. Miami's in town. The total's at 218.5. I've seen it dip to 217.5. If you're watching this video, check and shop. I mean, my goodness, the name of our channel, the name of the website, Odd Shopper. We're giving you a tool to shop around. So we want you to be a part of that. But look, man, you're out there right now. You're looking at this game. We just hit this on the 5 for 5 the other night. It's this. We've hit this a couple of times. Any total, this is our new rule right now. any total for Miami that is below 220.5, we are playing over. Now, if this is 210, 2.8, we'd really have to look at why, dive into that. But the Heat are going to score. The Heat have the capability to put up $120, $125. There's not a limitation there. And Chicago has spike scoring. 3 guys that can do a lot in a spike amount. Streak, spike, however you'd like to define it. You're going to get that with Chicago. And this notion that Miami just puts the clamp down on everybody, that's no longer as accurate as it once was. You're going to be able to score. You're going to be able to get up. You're going to be able to take advantage of some pockets on that Miami defense. And we just saw that where getting to the over, it was 220 the other night, getting over that, over 221 is the ideal, is not a one-member dance. That Miami is doing their part and giving up some points. So we'll go over 218 lean. All right. Now, I want to tell you before 2 more plays to go, but I'm going to give you half off the first week of our Discord. You can use our promo code, my promo code, ESInsider. You're going to get half off the Discord. Lindquist is there. Ben Raza is there. We're doing a ton. Just hit a 4-leg same game parlay to end the night on Thursday night for the channel. Smashed some other same game stuff. We have parlays for days. We're doing big things on the Discord. It's not just me, but I want you to be a part of it. Building ladders, smashing plus money plays. Cavs are down by 1 million. We're going to take them live. Stuff like that. Fun stuff like that. So there's a great community. The channel has fantastic members, and I'm grateful for everybody there being a part of it. I want you to jump in. That's why I'm going to give you half off your first week. You can use my promo code ESInside. It's nice when we hit like a plus 800 live Cleveland Cavaliers bet. Those are glorious. Absolutely glorious. Warriors, watch out. Watch out. We went under on the 5-5 on Friday with that game in Atlanta, and we snuck by throughout. Now the Golden State Warriors get a shot at the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know. What are you going to do here? Seriously, what are you going to do here? The Golden State Warriors are struggling mightily. No Clay, whatever the scenario is, the road is not their friend. And once again, they find themselves in the same spot. Memphis, on the other hand, gets this big win. Suns, Morant, Steven Adams company. Are you willing to believe that without Morant back, there's still good enough to hold off a Golden State team? This is where you can jump in, and I think there's really good value because Golden State will be shorted here. Golden State is, I would think, a better play just taking them out with the points. I'm going back and forth here because I would so like to take them to win the game, but I'm not. We're going to lock this up, though, by the way. This is our second lock of our 2 locks tonight, and we're simply going to take the Warriors on the number. They're going to get points, but Memphis just not good enough to pull away. Memphis just not good enough to establish any domination. Memphis still not good enough. Draymond. Sorry, not Clay. Did I say no Clay? Draymond. Still not good enough to move away from a team, distance themselves from a team until they get truly healthy / better, whatever the term is to describe Ja Morant's reclamation project. But that aside, Memphis isn't good enough to truly pull away. We like the Golden State Warriors with the points on the road as a lock. Last one, well, Boston cruised into the 4th quarter taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. And it was plenty, I think, to just shut down Portland, not get anything at all, enough at all, at least. I mean, 70 points through 3 was a suffocation. Boston seems to be heading, or at least I think Boston is stabilizing right now. But that hasn't changed it quite yet. They're still kind of mired in this recent small stretch of mediocrity. Not across the board, but still kind of in that little spot there. And while I think the Jazz lose this game, I'm willing to take a shot on this spread. I'm leaning towards the Jazz in the first half. I'll see what pops up. You let me know in the chat below when that hot hits, but I'm leaning the Jazz at home, willing to get out or at least take advantage of getting points at home. Our final play, it's a lean, but I think I'm getting closer and closer. You can hit me up in the chat here to a lock. Still a lean, but we'll see you on Sunday for Sunday's action. Thank you. Thumbs up, subscribe. Have yourselves a happy, healthy Saturday, a post St. Patty's Day recovery. There he is. You can say you're sorry.